Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson and possibly Akea Johnson. She's in the room. We'll see what happens. Coming to you from the big island of Hawaii. Yay. Straight from the Faery Cabin on the Johnson campus. Okay. So, what do we have here? Oh, Christine! Hooray! Aloha, Christine. Your microphone is open.
Aloha, Hope.
Yay! It's so good
And
to hear your voice.
thank you.
Yes.
I'm really not feeling well, so that's why I chimed in like first.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting here and I've got extreme nausea and
Okay.
chills running through me and um, dizziness.
Yes.
And I'm laying in a waterbed. So,
Okay. Okay. So it's like you're on a boat.
whoa, I'm on a really wild ride. And yeah. So, and I'm making it all real.
Huh?
Yeah.
So
So I'm looking for,
how are you making it real? Like what are you seeing? What kind of thoughts are you seeing that you're believing?
so the thoughts are that there's something wrong, something needs to be fixed,
Uh-huh.
that I caught the bug that everyone else had here in the house where I'm
Great.
visiting Portland,
Yeah.
that I'm not going to be okay to fly in the plane on Saturday because my ears are all plugged up and I have people reflecting back, well, oh, you can always cancel your plane flight. And I'm like, no, I don't. And I'm like, so I'm going into this whole spiral of there's something wrong that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, and there's definitely a loss of the sense of gratitude. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also a sense of, whew, I can't even get grounded because of this dizziness. So it's like I can't even feel where I am in space.
Yeah.
Um, so like to even bring sensation to my body, or to do any kind of presence is really challenging.
Well, why not experience that, whatever is being experienced?
Because it feels overwhelming.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was emotional a little bit ago, and that didn't help. It actually made more congestion in my head and was making me dizzier.
Yeah.
Or
So
that
the
was the st
sickness is being given power, and even as you watch the ego giving power to the sickness,
Yeah.
you see that? Even as you watch that, it's showing the tendency of the ego to you.
Say that again.
Unless it's showing the tendency of the ego to you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, there's no need to take that personally.
Okay.
When the tendencies of the ego are seen, that's how they become forgiven.
So the tendency being to notice it's what's happening in the body and making something wrong.
Making something wrong, and experiencing it as if the sickness has some kind of power, or the cause of the sickness made the sickness the apparent cause. That can't be possible.
Right.
All these kinds of thoughts are ego projections that say you caught it from people in the house. It's going around.
Mm-hmm.
Is any reason for sickness that's not the real reason, which we know the real reason. We know all of the illusions come out of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
All of them come out of mind. All of them come out of uh, misperception, misbelief, let's say.
You had some really good posts this week about sickness, but I can't remember one of them, of course, uh, to pull
Yeah,
back to pull back up right now. But yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's a really powerful information coming through on that. I mean, basically, sickness isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
It is not real. And it takes experiencing the unreal to dissolve it. But what we tend to experience is something else. It's thought about it and trying to get our life, our own life. Like the plane ticket situation, and that feeling of being attached to the plane ticket, that is also a tendency of the ego to run our life.
Mm-hmm.
There's no trust.
Right.
There's no trust in that. So in watching that play out, and with knowing what's actually going on, those tendencies get dissolved. But resisting the tendencies doesn't help.
Doesn't help shift anything.
No, it won't do anything. It'll just multiply them more.
So, I'm going to ask this anyway, so I always ask about the doing. So,
Mhm.
is the best thing to do is just to lay down and just be with it, like ride it out?
Well, it doesn't really matter what position your body takes, and I sense that question is coming from a sense of doership in
Right.
itself.
That's why I
Yeah,
prefaced it with that.
I know. It's awesome that you ask it, though. It's really awesome that you just bring it up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like in the moment that there is one of those kinds of thoughts or a whole train of those thoughts that are similar
Mm-hmm.
that make sickness seem like it's something that it's not,
Yeah.
that they're being recognized
Okay.
as such.
Mm-hmm.
Just recognize the false as false.
Okay. That's
Okay?
simple. Yeah.
It is that simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
I needed to simplify it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm for.
I know.
Isn't that fun?
It was so perfect. I mean, this came on suddenly about like an hour and a half ago, and I was in my email. I was like, "Oh my God, it's Tuesday, and there's the link, and I'm pressing it, and there you were."
Yeah.
I was awesome.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm so
Thank you.
glad you joined.
And I'll be listening.
Yay. Come back if you like.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you too. Okay. So, okay, Bob, I'm coming to you, putting your hand down, and now you're unmuted. Hooray.
Okay, this is Julia. I met you a couple weeks ago
Oh,
at
aloha,
my
Julia.
Aloha.
Nice to have you.
Thank you. I was hoping you could tell me what it was like when you died or had a death experience. Can you tell me that? Or
Well, there's not really a such thing as death, like you
okay.
think, for one. Um, what happened for me was an experience that seemed like losing the body, as if it was just shutting down. It was shutting off. And in that experience, there was just a really deep surrender to that, which is definitely not death.
Okay.
And and I experienced that spirit within, knowing that that's that's nothing. That idea of death, it's nothing. It's not even real.
Okay.
Okay. Is that what you wanted to know?
Well, I mean, so did it shut down or did you, see reality differently in that moment or did you have a
I couldn't
transformation?
I couldn't say that. Well, the only transformation that I could say, you know, really came out of that experience was noticing that there is nothing to try to protect here. There's nothing to try to protect.
Okay.
Okay. There's nothing to try to get out of this life beyond seeing through what makes illusions. Okay? As in anything that that causes suffering. Because that's not necessary. Just like death, you know, suffering is kind of like an effect of the belief in death. You can say it like that. Okay? You could say that what died was a part of, I guess, my consciousness that wanted to control things, that wanted things to go a certain way. I mean, when I see that thought come up that wants something to go a certain way, it's kind of funny to me, because it doesn't know. It does not know.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a sense of gratitude for wherever I happen to be and whatever I happen to be experiencing.
Okay.
Okay?
So, hi, here's me. So,
Yay, Bob.
then, yeah. Hi. So then it's like Jesus, you have to go through your crucifixion to get through your resurrection and ascension. You have to have that self-surrender, let go of your own will, your own trying to do something, your own action and will to be able to surrender and let go for that higher will, that higher power, the Holy Spirit or whatever, the Christ presence to take over your life.
Yes, and it's a total trust. That's what I notice. It requires total trust. And basically your spirit, which is you, so it doesn't seem
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a problem, but the ego makes it into a problem, as if you don't trust in the sense of needing something, like needing to make it to a certain plane flight or something. You know, it's like the trust. If there's not the trust there, then that's what is allowing the ego to come in and be basically the mind's guide. You could even say the mind's God. It's the false God. Are you still with me, Bob? Maybe not. He went offline. How fun. All right. Well, I guess he'll be back when he gets back online. All right. Lori said hi to you, Akea.
Hi, Lori.
So, yep, Lori, Bob is gone. So speaking of God, whatever the ego takes as God is its own God. It's a make-believe God. The ego's base thought is fear of God. Okay? Aloha, Scott. How is my son doing that had the accident recently? Well, Scott, he is doing amazing. Totally good. He's really happy. That's one thing. Really happy. And peaceful about it. He's not able to do too much stuff yet. Not as much as he used to. He can just play video games for a short period of time, whereas he used to be able to play for longer. But it's so much on his nervous system that he has to take some breaks. So yeah. Lori asks, are you stoned? Yes, Lori, I'm stoned. Wow, it was that serious. She knew it. Wow, it was that serious. Well, he bumped his head pretty hard because it went flying back on his head, and then he went into a seizure which made him bonk his head a bunch more times. So he was unconscious for a little bit, and it was to where we got flown over to Oahu. You know, we got flown over to Oahu to so he could be under observation in the neuroscience ward. It was really fun and interesting. Yeah, really an interesting experience. Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time together. We stayed in the same hospital room for 2 nights. And we had a lot of fun with the nurses too. It was wonderful. I talked about that before, about how when it happened, when I got the call that it happened, there was this definitely a feeling of fear that went over me, like, oh my God, what if he's dead? Because it sounded like it was really major, like he fell backward on his head, you know. And there was just an immediate sense of comfort that for that feeling is okay, you know. And then at the same time, it's like the way things are playing out, through my body and everything are all as if nothing is the matter, you know. Even if it happens to do with taking some drugs from the doctors, taking some of the, okay, even if he died, it would be okay. I get that, yeah, because that's not coming from my will. It's not anything that I could do anything about. All that there could be is a recognition that anything that denies life is only an illusion. And there's no need for an illusion to perpetuate. It doesn't have to perpetuate. So there's an openness to the miracle. Even if as bad as it looks on the surface to people, and it seems as if there's some kind of problem that has more power than our spirit, that's how we give our power away. So it's a matter of staying open to whatever comes, to whatever energies come, and allowing that to be okay within the energy field only. It's not a matter of saying, oh, that illusion of that guy dying over there, that's okay, so I'm just not going to do anything. I got a little bit of that. I got a little bit of that kind of energy yesterday at Wisdom Dialogues in person. Sometimes the way I say things, or the way the ego takes and interprets what I'm saying to mean that it's okay, like it's okay to abuse and rape and all this other stuff, like all these things are okay. And that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying they're okay. I'm saying that those things are a representation of thought. They're a representation of belief. They're only arising in the mind, so then they can be healed. And that it's we who have the power to heal. But when we believe the thought that they have more power than our spirit, that's how we multiply these fearful illusions, like sickness. Okay? That's how we would multiply a fearful illusion like sickness. There's no such thing as sickness. Whenever we perceive it in ourselves or we perceive it as in someone else, it's a misperception. It's only a misperception. You've probably heard it said before, only your perception needs to be changed, not anything on the surface. And how does the perception change then? How does it change? Well, when we're having a perception right now, and maybe a thought arises, I wonder if I said that wrong. Maybe that comes up. So there's just the recognition of that as being meaningless. So it's not allowed to take our energy to multiply itself. Okay? That's how people become very insecure, or like maybe secretive about what they're doing. Okay? That feeling of guilt would make us want to be secretive. Unless we're like planning a surprise party or something like that. But we're only just hiding from ourselves. Whenever there's that feeling of, oh, if they knew this about me, they wouldn't like me. Or if they knew this about me, they wouldn't respect me. And all that stuff is meaningless. Okay? There's the exact people that, let's say, are the ones you have a contract with, so to speak, to help heal the mind, are coming into your experience all the time. So there's no need to try to keep anyone in your experience. And, you know, there's really no need to push anyone away either. And, you know, in that I'm not saying don't have boundaries. That's not what I'm saying. A lot of the times that gets misinterpreted. Okay? When there's a need for boundaries, then there's a motivation to set them. Something that seems necessary. Okay? It makes you feel less fearful. There is a point where no boundaries are needed. It's not necessary to do that. As in, like, I don't know, don't come over, ever. And a lot of the times when I talk about that too, like it's in setting boundaries, is even when boundaries are being set, notice any kind of attachment to those boundaries. Like, I'll give you a for instance. Say I'd like to be in my room alone and get some rest. So I let my family know I'm going to my room, go get some rest. And then if there's some reason someone needs to come in and tell me something or interrupt my rest, so to speak, which can't really happen, just watching what happens, that's how we can see the attachment and feel what it feels like to feel attached like that to outcomes. Now, that doesn't mean that my kids might not come in my room or something and go, hey, Mom, I want you to do this for me right now. And I might go, that's not going to happen right now. Or I might go, all right. But either way, it's not a problem, you see? What happens is something like that where there seems to be a boundary set and it's taken personal. When that set boundary gets broken, then it seems like something's wrong, and that could be sensed in the energy field when there's an attachment. Whoa! But a dog just came over. So seeing that there's something that seems to be disturbed, all that's asking for is observation, okay, of the disturbance itself, and not believing in the thoughts about it. An example of believing in the thoughts about it would be to say something like, these kids are a pain in the ass, or that thought arises, these kids are a pain in the ass, and taking that as if it's true. See? Taking that as if it really is true. Like that thought could come up, but who is it talking to? Who is it meaningful for? See? Or even just standing in line, that one that in the grocery store, maybe someone in front of you is taking longer than you expected, and it's like the thought will come up, and this sucks standing here. You know, any little thing like that it's sort of like an invitation to heal, and it's also an invitation to make more illusions. To blame that feeling of, oh, it's taking too long in this grocery store, on all of a sudden the thoughts start multiplying about judgment about whatever is going on. The checker's taking too long, or the customer has too many coupons. Who knows? You see that kind of stuff go on all the time, and you see that kind of thing arise in the mind as if something's wrong. And always that sense of something wrong is an energetic pattern just arising, just passing, kind of like a cloud. It's made of thought. It's not anything to get worked up about. But if they go unrecognized, which they do a lot because they're largely unconscious, if they go unrecognized, they end up guiding our action, so to speak. Okay? End up being our guide instead of allowing love to be the guide. So, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. Aloha, Lori. Aloha, my love.
Hi there. Okay.
Yay.
So did you come to this understanding through, I mean, is it non-duality, or is it through the Course in Miracles?
You know, it was so many different things. There's like just different events that occurred even when I was like a small child, and kind of like a culmination came really like straight after the Vipassana 10-day.
Yeah. When you got really sick and thought it was, wasn't it right? You got sick right after that? Or,
no, it wasn't right after that. It was maybe like a year or 2 years after that. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a while. Yeah.
But that was the catalyst to have you go deeper. It's like,
that's how a lot of stuff culminated together that came from different avenues. You know, having been raised as a Christian missionary on the Bible, memorizing the Bible all the time, not really having a full understanding of, like, you know, or that understanding that you have with your spirit, you know, with the words in your spirit. Do you know what I'm saying? That deep understanding, until, you know, Vipassana brought all of that in, plus the yoga. I had been practicing Kundalini yoga for like 5 years. Everything that was, you know, kind of like little insights during that. And and with essential oils, and everything kind of like just culminated, and it was like, wow, and everything just became so easeful. That's the only way I can say it. So easeful, because it's all energy. It all comes down to energy. It all comes down to the fluctuations in the energy body are sort of like projecting the fluctuations that we perceive in the world. And it's like I don't know, for me, once that's seen, everything's different.
Once it's seen that it's all energy.
It's all coming from this energy body right here, everything that I'm perceiving. And this energy body is basically a projection of thought.
And certain thoughts produce more energy than others.
Thoughts, I wouldn't say thoughts produce energy at all. I would say all of it is coming from the spirit. Thoughts resonate as an energy. They're like what I see it is everything comes down to sound and the subtlest level.
Sound.
Yes. Yes, like when we're speaking right now, there's a vibration, and there's a very subtle vibration that can be felt in the body, and that is like a sound. It's a very subtle sound vibration.
That resonates.
I could hear it right now, in fact. It's a strange...
Yeah.
It's there's no difference, thoughts and feelings. It's like the thoughts, the concept is resonating as a sound, and you can hear it when you believe that concept in your voice. Your resonance will shift to match it.
Beautiful.
You can feel it in your body, and you can feel it especially in the throat area, the throat chakra. Yep.
Wow. I can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. So if you tune into that, all these things, just use them for fun. You don't have to do anything. Remember, You're not a doer.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Just for fun, but you can tune your attention into your throat when you're talking, and you're feeling a little bit disturbed, and you can witness what that vibration feels like coming out as concepts, as words. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like when I'm with you, and I'm expressing these concepts that are coming from the source, I'm super juiced up. I'm super thrilled. And my voice feels really good. My voice feels super good in my throat.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's fun, huh?
I was thinking about you this week because I listened to I don't know if you know who Bentinho Massaro is.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, he just had an interview done last month, and I just stumbled across it, and I said, I haven't heard from him in years. And when he said, as the identity drops and everything, he's talking about how you can see the thoughts coming in, and because they're cute. They're cute. I said, oh my God, him and Hope should get together.
You think they're cute too? How fun.
The same word. Lord, I was like, oh, please.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. They're sweet. They're cute.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really anxious about this, to test the throat thing, watching it.
Fun.
Also, I had an experience last week about defending my nephew. As soon as there was something said against him, I felt my heart started pounding out of my chest.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I was focused on, I felt it.
Yeah.
I felt I needed to defend him. That just I had no control over what was. Literally, clearly saw that I wasn't doing any of it. It was just whatever was coming out. It was complete defense of him. I couldn't keep it in. So that's why I'm saying some thoughts create more energy, because that was definitely more energy in this body.
I see. I see. Yeah. So a thought takes whatever energy you give it in the form of meaning. You make it meaningful, you give it more energy.
But I didn't give it more energy. More energy happened, obviously.
Well, it's always there. It's always there because that it comes out of you. It's so you're the source.
Yeah. Okay.
You're the source. So you decide where it flows. If a thought is meaningful, then if a thought is meaningful to you, you're feeding it energy by your attention. Your attention is energy.
Completely unconsciously.
Yep.
Yeah. Because literally, my heart just started pounding. There was no
Yeah. So you just watch that. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Watch.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this was really powerful, because I haven't felt that in a long time.
Uh-huh.
I just realized the contrast from my normal calm inside to automatic boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's like a shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, you see how you have no control over that. It's just like
Yeah.
boom. Yeah.
No, it just came
Yeah.
on like gangbusters.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's only your experience of it, because your experience of it all arises within you.
Right.
So it's like allowing that experience of it and having compassion for the feeling, That's what allows the healing to happen.
Mm.
Hey, Braun. Braun's here.
Hi, Brian.
I don't know who that is.
That's Lori.
Okay, somebody.
I hope someday we can do this where we can see each other, not
That
just
would be
me
fun.
and you. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever someone comes on their camera, they have the camera option. That's a good idea.
Hmm.
If you want, you can look into that.
Well, Lisa Carnes, when I talk to her, she does it on YouTube, but she has people call her in through Skype.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm not sure exactly how that works though, because yeah, I don't know how. I could ask her though.
Cool.
Anyway,
Okay, so do you have something else for me, or I'm going on to Bob?
go on to Bob. Yes, I just chimed in because Bob never came back, so I was thinking.
Oh, he's back again. He's back again. Thanks for coming on. I love you.
I love you too.
What the heck? Whatever.
Aloha, Bob.
Well, aloha, Bron, and Hope. Yes, I told you before, like last time, the computer goes off. So I talked to Marjan, and they talked to the DishNet, and apparently they're having satellite issues.
Okay.
So in the middle of the internet, it goes up. I had to turn off the router, turn off the computer, get everything restarted again before I could get back on the webinar.
Well, thanks for coming back.
Well, of course, we're back, and Julia's right here beside me also. So I guess we'll just have to watch the repeat to see what you had followed up on with my last comment, the Bible quote and everything.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, give me
anyway.
the Bible quote again. I forgot what that was.
Oh, it was, trust the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Acknowledge him in all thy ways, he shall direct thy path.
Exactly. It's simple. Do you have a question about that, or you just like to read it?
Well, yeah, but that was like we were talking about how you have to go through like a crucifixion to have a resurrection and ascension. You You have to
Oh,
go through a death.
yeah, it doesn't have to be
Personal
hard.
will.
Yeah, doesn't have to be hard though.
Right. It doesn't
Not
have to be.
necessary. Yeah,
Right.
it could be very gentle. It's only believing the thoughts make it hard. And then there's some thoughts that resist those other thoughts becoming made known. Don't want them to be made known. There's a resistance to it. What'll I lose if I don't have this belief?
Right. Yeah. You become identified with it. It's
Yeah.
another form of personalization. This is my belief.
Yeah, and I could say
Identify.
there's nothing to lose. That's what I can share with you, that there's really nothing to lose.
Right. Just a bunch of illusions and suffering is all you're losing.
In your body.
Yeah.
And right. And then Julia's saying your body, but then you say that the body is an energy body. You mentioned something about Tesla. He said everything is energy and frequency and vibration, and
Okay.
and so energy can't be created or destroyed. It's eternal, and that is the foundation. That's the substance of our being. And you were talking about toning or chanting or using your voice or whatever. That is a way.
I wouldn't say that energy is the substance of our being, because energy is also an illusion.
So spirit. You talk about. Everyone talks about the Holy Spirit.
That's not energy. That's not energy though.
That's
Energy
just,
is also part of illusion. Thoughts and feelings are energy, and energy itself is an illusion.
So then that Holy Spirit would be more of the substance of being
That's the
that
only
we rely on.
substance. Yes. Yeah. That's the only substance. So when there's a perceived need to rely on something that isn't real, okay, as in relying on a drug to heal, or even an essential oil to heal. Like I sell essential oils, and I say that to people. You can't rely on an illusion to heal your body. It's not how it is. The only thing you can do with an illusion is make kind of like a magic trick. Trade in one illness for covering up that illness and letting it come up in some other aspect.
Right.
I've heard what is kind of like playing whack-a-mole.
What's that?
Oh, it's that game where there's little moles. They pop up and you hit them, but they keep on popping up again.
No. Oh, right. Yeah, you're just substituting one self-deception for another. But then I guess if your whole being in life is composed of the Holy Spirit, then there can't be any problems. The problems is we're not the Holy Spirit. We're a body. We're physical. We need food. We're afraid of drugs. We have things that can threaten us. We have all these other beliefs and ideas about life and who we are and what we're composed of.
We don't really have those. We don't really have those ideas like that. That's one way of seeing it. We don't really have the ideas. The ideas are in the mind, and they circulate the mind. They cross our awareness, but they don't belong to anyone.
Yeah, okay. That's that. Yeah, Joel Goldsmith says kind of a universal hypnotism, a universal mesmerism that's impersonal, that we can be subjected to. But then we can surrender our lives to the Holy Spirit, and then that's a different life.
Yes, and I hear you saying it, and there's and I know that you have an intellectual understanding of it, but there has to be the application of it in your actual experience. It has to be experiential.
Right, yeah, so that's experiential?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just it. So it just seems like then the Holy Spirit uh, has to provide the Holy Spirit that we have different spiritual experiences or near-death experiences or vipassana experiences that come into our life that show us something above and beyond ourselves and our limited belief systems, because I've had the spiritual experiences that have led me to want to listen to you and many other spiritual teachers and have spiritual experiences, and I've had powerful experiences on ayahuasca and such. So they're like steps that I feel like as life progresses, I'm becoming freer and more open to the spirit. But I haven't fully realized it or actualized it yet, it seems like. But I guess I can't. Bob Shine can't. That's just the personal self having a concept about it.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing for you to do. It's just
Yeah.
in that moment, be aware when there's energy of against.
Right. Yeah, that's just
That's
it.
the best way to put it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want her to be like that. That's that energy of against. If that is observed instead of bought into, as in believe that it has meaning, then it clears the way for a whole lot more seeing.
That's right. Yes. So that's once again just another negative thought form that brings down your frequency to be against something. They say don't be against war, be for peace.
Well, I wouldn't say be anything. Just watch what's arising. Don't try to be.
Yeah.
Don't try to be anything.
Yeah, you don't want to just think, oh, I just have to have positive thinking, because then that's just more thinking.
Yeah, just watch and notice what the energy of against is an immediate attack on yourself. This can be experienced. This can be totally experienced. You need to verify that for yourself. You need to verify that for yourself. Then you're like, okay, no need to get into it.
Right. Yeah. Anything that I'm against boomerangs back on me.
Exactly.
Because there's a.
Yeah.
Can I ask you? Or are you done?
Yeah. Sure.
Can I ask you about like when you had this, transformation with death? I'm going to call it death because it's not death, but
Yeah.
Did you understand other people in your life better? Did you have any deeper understanding of the events of your past life, or
my past
like
life?
that?
My past
well,
life?
your life up until then, or
oh. Well, definitely notice, when there used to be this energy of taking things personal, noticing when a person is basically demonstrating suffering. Basically, they're looking for love and not make it into some kind of threat, Before that, it would be a threat when someone was doing something that it seemed like I didn't want them to do. Threatening.
Right.
Okay.
Threatening dialogues.
Hey, Braun.
Blah, 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 dialogues.
So is that what you wanted to know?
I guess, did you, have, a broader, but, did you have more information than you had before this happened? Or did you was everything just more of a letting go?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's along those lines of your question, because it seems like that's pointing to something different than what I experienced, but it's more like in the moment where there's a transaction between us, we're relating, or I'm having a thought about a particular person, and feeling misunderstood or not taken seriously or unsupported or whatever the feeling may be, and just noticing that that is a wave of energy coming up, and it has nothing to do with anything that's real, and watching the feeling that comes automatically out of that. Okay. So I saw no value in trying to get any kind of particular behavior out of a person or any particular relationship agreement. Like, don't say that kind of stuff to me or whatever, stuff like that. You start to see no value in that. And, you know, people can come and say whatever they would like to say to me, and even if it seems like it's something that they're saying something negative about me or whatever, it's not a problem. It could just be received. It's a kind of listening where you're listening with every part of you. You're not trying to resist it. You're not trying to resist what's happening.
But you're still probably going to do what you're asking.
What's that?
Maybe you're not. But you may not be going to change in the way they're, you know, asking you to. You know, like.
You might not change in the way that other people want you to change. So what's the problem with that?
I'm just saying, you can just receive their request, and you can listen to it with your whole being.
Yeah.
But it's not, you know, what your plan to go ahead or anything.
No, I mean the only reason these minds come together, meaning people relate, is for awakening the mind. It's not for having obligations or anything like that.
Right.
It's the only reason these minds are coming together. That's the real purpose of these minds coming together. It's to show each other that what we thought was true was not true. That's it. There's no need to, you know, if there's obligation, that's trying to get a different purpose than is the real purpose of the relating. Okay?
Right.
Whether we take on obligation or project obligation as if someone else is obligated to us. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. Just love is simple and free. It's just simple and free. There's no need for any kind of rules on it.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you both.
Yes.
Well, we'll look forward to watching the rerun to hear what you said after we got cut off.
Okay, fun. I'm excited too. Thank you so much.
It's the funnest thing in the world then after this to get to watch the repeat.
How great. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Right.
Really?
You know, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait till, you know, the next Star Trek Mr. Spock episode came. Now it's I can't wait for the next Wisdom Dialogue, you know, YouTube repeat.
Yay! Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone who comes on. You're so awesome.
All right.
So I'm coming to the end, it looks like, because I don't see any more hands. Don't know if we left anything out. Braun thinks that's cool that we're coming to an end. Yeah, blah, blah, blah dialogues. So I'd like to mention, since we were talking about the throat and how we can sense the sound of our voice as a subtle vibration when we speak, offer, my voice formula. I have a formula essential oil called Voice. You can go to miraclebotanicals.com to check it out. And it has a beautiful aroma. It just helps you get your senses in touch with what's going on right there. Sometimes I'll just put some at the back of my throat and cruise around like that, and then it smells delicious. Yay. So Scott asked me, of all the essential oils you offer, what is your favorite fragrance? That changes all the time because sometimes I'm into floral. Right now I'm totally digging my Blessed perfume. I made this perfume with 24 different essential oils and put it in Schisandra. So it's 50% Schisandra, which is an amazing, beautiful oil. And I just put some of that on. Ron loves peppermint patty. We made one with cacao butter. There's a butter essential oil, peppermint, and vanilla. And you could use that one in food. Well, we do. We put it in food. I don't know if we're supposed to say you could use it in food. I don't know because we're not like regulated by the FDA, but I don't know. We got balls, I guess. We feel comfortable doing it. Yay. I love you, everyone, and I would love to connect with you again next week and every week. Mahalo, aloha, and a hui ho.
And a blah blah blah.